Alright, let's start. Alright, gentlemen, welcome back. As you can tell by that, we're down.
Big elephant in the room here, isn't it?
We're down another host this week. He won't be missed. He suffered one loss and he's run. He's
Running
gone.
and hiding. Pulled out while we were out the front of the studio, so that's simply not good enough.
Yeah.
Look, there'll probably be a performance improvement plan in place. He's been coming up with some shit takes.
Yeah.
His closely affiliated team isn't winning.
Yeah.
The Knights fucking suck too.
Yeah. It's been a tough week for our co-host. I don't blame him for going on the run.
Yeah. I think really all this is leading to is a Kalen Ponga HIA.
Yeah, I agree. He's bloody lucky Chatty T's been dropped. To tell you that, Chatty T would be out on the hunt for him. But look, it's been a pretty average week in Supercoach.
Yeah, I think it was actually pretty exciting. You know, we had a few big matchups, a few close games.
Big ladder movement this week.
Yeah,
A lot of ladder movement.
Was a lot of ladder movement. Look, no bigger mover than off the top of my head. The Harry Dogs.
The Harry Dogs jumping down from first spot. First spot, I believe.
Sorry, I've just pulled a Liam Phoenix and opened up the public league.
We can go over that if you want. Liam will be happy to hear
Should we go over my public league? Currently sitting in second.
One loss. Oh, that's not good enough to Liam Phoenix's standards.
Okay. So actually, can you look at movers? I think you can when it's on.
Live ladder.
Yeah,
Ladder, I
you
believe. Oh, look.
Look, we know the Harry Dogs have dropped 2 spots.
Yeah. And that's just that's their total points letting them down there.
Yeah.
Almost bloody 100 points less than second.
Yeah, look, we'll quickly review the ladder as we do each episode.
Yeah.
We'll make it a bit shorter. Our other co-host really enjoyed reviewing the ladder, specifically last week.
Yeah.
Can't work out why.
No.
I'm sure he wouldn't be that fond of it this week.
No, not at all. But I guess we'll quickly touch David's team moving up to first. That was
this look, good on him. We'll touch more depth.
Yeah.
In the reviews.
Yeah.
Bedwetter's still sitting at second.
Yeah.
I think he was second.
Yeah, I believe so. He seems to be a genuine top 4 threat. 5 rounds in, it's probably time to start accepting that he's going to be thereabouts in finals.
Yep. Then we got the Harry Dogs. Look, we'll touch on this team later.
Yeah.
Grizzly Raiders sitting in 4th.
I know, starting off the year with an early loss, but has absolutely hit form. Much better than last year. Much better than last year.
Chaos Titans in 5th.
Yeah.
Look, sort of just holding that solid pace. We've got 5 teams, 4 and 1.
Yeah.
Is the bottom of them. Next we drop to the 3 and 2 bracket.
Table, the biggest mover of the round. I believe this was 3rd all the way down to 6th, dropping 3 spots, and that's the Copy Captains. Look, losing to Mick will do that to you. Losing to Mick, it's just a bad smell, and it's going to linger around for a few weeks.
Confidence could be rattled a bit. They need to get back in the winners' books.
Yeah.
Copy Captains. Look, we all mentioned how he's in Japan or Europe, whatever it was, for the start of the year.
Cardi party.
Oh yeah, my apologies. So look, he'll probably take being 3 and 2.
Yep.
Bilbo's Mother Hot. He'd be happy to be floating around the 8. I think. It's a team we didn't have too much mail on, so I think he'd be happy where he's at.
Someone that wouldn't be happy floating around just outside the 8 is the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's with a negative record put on a monster score this week.
Yeah, top scored. So we'll touch more on that. But I don't think he'd be happy at all with that record. Next up, the Dons Dongs. This is a guy. This is sort of the record you expect out of him.
Yeah, mid table with the ability to knock off those above.
Shout out to Nick's News.
Yeah.
Best on field. I don't think he'd be happy with this. He's on a 3-game skid.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Best on field hasn't really had a feature on Nick's News yet. Could be some issues in that locker room.
Very quiet. Best on field has been the last few weeks. Haven't heard too much from the big fella. I guess that's just reflects his footy.
Yep. Next up, Waltzing Matildas. Kearney. Kearny. Fuck the E. Look,
Until you start winning games, you don't
Yeah.
deserve an extra E.
exactly. Yeah, you don't get the E, just like you don't have W's in that column. Anyway, 12th. Honestly, you'd probably be pretty happy with this. It's an improvement from that wooden spoon.
Yeah.
A coach who certainly wouldn't be happy. Big danger signs at this club, I'd say. Adam O'Brien in at 13.
Yeah, absolute stinking start to the year.
Yeah. Next up, Doggies, a team on the up. Looks still pretty low on the ladder, but they've strung together 2 nice wins.
The ladder is still quite tight at the moment. So.
Yeah, like one win can really get you fluctuating. So, look, Doggies are a team that could certainly be on the up.
Yeah. Oh, this guy will be happy about
This guy, win number 2 on the board, the Cinderella man. I can't wait to touch up on review that match.
Yeah.
We tipped it to be one of the more exciting ones.
Yeah.
Would have liked to have seen a bit more banter in the chat.
Yeah, no, very quiet, but that's all right. 16th, up the guts.
So we've got confirmation he hasn't quit, I guess.
He's got a change of shield, which is a good sign. There is signs of life. He has a pulse, but unfortunately that's not translating to wins. He still sinks.
Next up, not on the bottom of the ladder, in 17th. Hasn't even cracked 5,000 points after 5 weeks. That's pretty concerning. Hey ho, let's go.
And yet he puts up a massive 1,200 last week. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And now, look, we'll touch on. Well, I believe this is actually our first matchup. Plenty to talk about. The Butter Bandit currently
online as well, which
yeah, good. Fucking spend some more time online. Maybe he's analysing the public league.
Yeah.
Any comment on where you're at in the public league?
Yeah.
I guess look, this is a league that's scored 102,000 points already, and Butter Bandit, you're not contributing enough.
No. All right, let's get to the review. Kicking us off last week, who do we have?
Yes, we're starting with the Butter Bandits takes on the Doggies, defeated by the Doggies, I should say. This was one of those games that really came down. There was a few matches decided by Caleb Ponga.
Yeah, Caleb Ponga, and he's just...
There was plenty of nervous coaches, that's for sure.
Yeah. So kicking off the round, Matty Nicholson bowling out a 91. He looks every bit a rugby league player.
Yes. He's playing fantastic footy, and this was a bit of an offline discussion, heated discussion even, maybe. What are the Raiders going to do when Hosking's back?
It's a tough one because, in my opinion, Nicholson playing far too well to not be in that side. You obviously don't move Hudson Young. Hudson Young was player.
He's a game winner.
He was the player of the match on the weekend, Origin level player. You're not moving him, so it comes down to Nicholson or Hosking. But the way Nicholson's playing, you can't be like getting Hosking straight in there. You also I feel like Nicholson needs to be playing a good amount of minutes. Just because he's so electric with the ball. But I don't know, do you move a Hosking to 13?
Yeah, look, that's probably what I'd be looking
I think
at.
someone like a Hosking who's not flashy will just make his tackles. You know he's going to be a grunt out there. So I don't see any reason why you can't move him.
I can see Hosking being able to play out.
And you know what? In Supercoach terms, if Hosking moved to 13, that's not the end of the world. He gives me vibes that he would tackle his dick off in 13.
I reckon he could easily average 65 playing 13. Matty Nicholson, he's worked out to be a good cheapie. He's made 120k. Break even of 5. Too late to get on if you've missed.
100%.
But look, all Matty Nicholson owners will be happy.
Yeah.
I'll also touch on another Raiders player the Butter Bandit had, Tamale.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a footballer to me.
Tamale is unbelievable. It's honestly quite disappointing that he is playing for the Raiders, who generally don't run a lot of backlines. Backline plays.
They don't go down the left too often, and when they do, it does not get past Seb Cripps.
No, Seb.
But to be fair, he's looking damaging, so why would he pass it? But I mean, Ethan Strange is also more of a runner as well, so he's really only taken yardage.
Could you imagine Tamale playing on like a Broncos edge or something?
Even
like
a Roosters out the back of Chatty T. Like, just those Harbour Bridge balls.
Yeah, he would be a super coach machine, but unfortunately he plays for the Raiders, so you just got to rely on his tackle bust.
Next up for the Butter Bandit, big addition for the Butter Bandit. Looks like he sacked Max the King. And has brought in Terrell May.
Yeah, and that was much needed. I'm not sure what Max King scored on the weekend, but I highly doubt it was 69.
It would be funny if he outscored Terrell May.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
66.
So
that's a positive move.
Yeah, 3-point swing.
Look, it was a bit of a not really an ideal game for Terrell May. Like, it wasn't much of a forwards battle.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe I didn't really watch the game. I was quite drunk.
I was blind drunk as well, so honestly, I have no idea what was happening.
I mean, I don't know how. I got nothing for it.
Yeah, not much review on that game.
Adam Dewey, look, as I've been watching Adam Dewey closely, probably hasn't quite panned out in Supercoach this year. It's probably time to move on.
Yeah.
Break even to 62. Like, he's probably not going to lose too much cash, but I'd be looking to upgrade to a gun. Maybe a Carraz next week.
Yes. Oh, can't wait to talk about him.
Yeah, we'll touch on him. Then it's the Kalen Ponga. Look, this guy cost a lot of coaches.
This comes down to Adam O'Brien, not Adam O'Brien in our league, although he probably has something to do with it. He's that shit. It comes down to Adam O'Brien just refusing to give the best player on his team, one of the best attacking players
in the world,
one of the definitely close to the best attacking player in the world. Just fuck giving him the ball in the attacking half. Why would you do that? Let's just fucking give it to Matt Croker for a crash ball every fucking second ball. Like, it does my head in as a KP owner and a KP fan. Everyone liked watching KP in full flight. Very disappointing, but it was a bit of a poo slinger this game. Like, a lot of dropped footy. The Dogs...
This game fucking sucked.
It was...
2-0 at half-time.
It was shit.
Plenty of dropped footy.
Boring.
Look, you give credit to the Knights for how they defended, but there are serious alarm bells ringing for this team's attack. They've scored the least amount of points in the NRL.
Which, it just
doesn't make sense when you've got players like Kalen Ponga, Bradman Vest,
Greg Marju.
Like, you should be scoring points.
Yeah, it is simply because they just continuously give the forwards. Do you reckon, have they been chasing on kicks this year? I know that was a big talking point.
Yeah, how they never contested kicks.
I don't know whether that's just another example of some Adam O'Brien retardation.
Yeah.
Like, he just... I don't know. For me, he should be coaching the Bushrangers reserve grade.
Yeah, look, it's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. Look, we'll transition to the Doggies here. Look, I like what I'm seeing. He's busted out 12.43, which is actually the second highest score.
I'm not sure whether he had Crichton the last few weeks.
No, I think he did.
Did he? I do like the Crichton pick.
I see Isaiah Tass. I know you were quite bullish on Tass anytime try scoring.
Yeah, I was very high on Tass because simply Trell Mitt back in, everyone's going to be looking at Trell Mitt. And eventually that big country boy is going to throw a ball out the back to Tass, and he did. He threw one of the best pills I've ever seen. That was ridiculous. A 4-man cutout.
4-man cutout that went 4 metres forward.
Oh, he was moving forward. I don't know. It's one of those tough ones.
Look, but I mean, I don't really give a fuck about the Roosters. So
no. If it happened against your team, you'd be filthy.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was always going to happen. And Tass, I believe he's cheap. I don't know how much money he's made. Break even at 13 this week. He's made 2K. So I guess it's positive.
That's not great. But look, maybe with Trell Mitt back in the side, they'll get some more attacking.
Who knows? Trell Mitt to 6 this week, which is interesting.
Nafufu White, 55.
He just keeps doing it.
Yeah, and Lindsay Collins, the bully, out for 6 weeks. So look for Nafufu White to continue with a larger role and continue banging out pretty good scores.
It's one of the most... But like by round 6, I guarantee you, all the Fuffy White owners were not expecting him to still be in the side. No. But he just keeps turning up.
Keeps turning up. Mamazula's a little bit disappointing. You know, he's turned into a pretty good starting 9 for a lot of sides. Yeah, a little bit disappointing.
His break even at this week 39. So you'd expect him to pretty much.
I think. Yeah, he's basically maxed out. I mean, he could get another 60. He's not going to gain too much more cash.
No.
I wouldn't be looking to upgrade this week. There's too many bigger targets.
I believe Mitch Kenny will be out for a few weeks with a shoulder injury. Penrith are bringing in a rookie hooker this week. I believe he's bottom price too. So obviously Penrith hookers, you're always going to have your eye on, unless they're Sonny Luke.
Is there no Sonny Luke yet?
No, I don't know where Sonny Luke is. Sonny Luke
could be dead.
Yeah. He's probably still rotting on the bench. His corpse is rotting on the Penrith bench right now.
Yeah.
So look, at the end of the day, the Penrith hookers coming in, you know, they're ideally they're going to defend well, even though Penrith haven't really been doing that this year. So like potentially that's a target, a Mamazella. Same with Corey Cakes. You could look at going either of those guys down, but you don't do it this week. Riley Smith also played extended minutes.
I think he played about 60 minutes. I don't think he actually scored that well, though.
No, he didn't. He only scored 30. But that's also because they decided to put Jermaine Hopgood in at hooker.
Yeah.
They named Charlie Geimer at hooker and then swapped it to Jermaine Hopgood.
Interesting coaching.
Not sure you want one of the best 13s in the comp playing hooker.
That's sort of straight out of the Adam O'Brien book.
That is. Adam O'Brien probably texted him, said, mate, trust me.
Dill Brown definitely had his best game of the year.
Yeah.
So a 93 for Dill Brown. Surely he's actually leaked a bit of cash.
I think he's below 600k. Or 612.
He was in the 500s. So Dill Brown owners would be happy.
I'm not... Even though Dill Brown's cheap, I'm still not very convinced.
Especially with Lomax out. Like been chewing. He's probably been the Eels' best player. Yeah. So I think they're going to continue to struggle.
I think you look at Munster and Jaden Campbell, but honestly, you can get away with just 1.58.
I'll quickly touch on a player both these teams played. Isaiah Iongi, big 107, and just looked really involved. I watched this game pretty closely. Top Supercoach analyst, top NRL analyst. I did tip the Parramatta Eels for their first win of the year.
Yep.
Also can confirm I am the sole leader of the Yass Road Bowling Club tipping competition.
Oh, congratulations. That's huge.
There is 90 people in that and I'm the sole leader.
All courtesy of Para, I imagine.
Yes. Knocked off Tanya Harris for top spot.
That's not much competition. She's probably watching this.
Yeah, she probably is. So sucked in there.
But I actually, my astute rugby league brain, tipped Isaiah Iongi as a play this week and he delivered in spades. So... He just looks good. He runs the footy, had a really good try, nice show and go, I believe it was. Yeah. So he's definitely a good footy player, and I think you can hold on to him for a few more weeks.
So it looks like Doggy still has Tom Trebojevic. Wonder if he's traded him out this week. We'll see that at lockout.
Maybe he's just holding him.
Look, I thought Pappenhausen was a pretty obvious move, or maybe even a Gutho. But,
I'd even go a pod with in-drink water over holding a ginger turbo.
So I don't know.
A huge point to talk about here. Jackson Purdue. Still holding. Doggies has held him, and what a play.
He's turned around. He's now gained nearly 200k. A lot of coaches got off him after round 2, so saw no price raise.
Awful in round 2, and then he's just turned around. I'm actually very filthy. Me and Daniel spoke about it actually, saying how we didn't feel good about trading at Purdue.
Yeah.
But we felt like we needed Tamale, and Purdue was the only one we could go to.
Anyway, look. We've given the Butter Bandits far too much airtime here. You just simply got to be better. We might stop addressing this team unless if they can put some wins on the board because it's just not good enough.
It's just getting embarrassing.
Yeah. Actually, we'll cover that one last. Next up one. Grizzly Raiders defeats the Waltzing Matildas. Just another solid win from the Grizzly Raiders.
Yep.
Nearly busting out 1,200.
Yep.
I'm looking at his uniques and what the fuck's going on with the Waltzing Matildas? Like, these uniques for the Grizzly Raiders are just awesome. Ponga, Munster, Tino, Nafupi White.
Yeah. AFB,
Nathan Cleary. Like, no wonder you lost.
Yeah. And then you look over the other side and the Waltzing Matildas are rolling out bloody Tamale, Nicholson, DCE. Like, everyone for the Waltzing Matildas didn't play bad.
Yeah.
Like Hopgood, 48, playing 20 minutes in hooker as well, which we've spoken on that, but that's just
look, he was I don't know if I assume he brought in Campbell, who was, I believe, the most traded in player. 52 in a well-beaten Titans side. Look, I think
52 after updates. He was on like barely 40, and they gave him a line break in updates, which was nice. A lot of teams definitely needed that.
Good to see the Waltzing Matildas has the hooking, just the 3 hookers from Parramatta, Hopgood, Geimer and Riley Smith. Big Parramatta hooker guy.
Yeah.
Both these teams are also still owning Purdue. They'd be fucking happy with that.
I know. It's annoying to look at.
What I'm not liking for the Grizzly Raiders, when there's plenty to like, Royce the Choice.
He's still hanging around. Has he? I reckon Royce the Choice has gone down in price. He has.
Look, he's nearly bottom dollar.
He's lost 37k.
Yeah, he's nearly bottom dollar. He's got an average score of 18.
Yeah, we were bullish on Royce the Choice being the worst possible pick, and I nuffed over picking up Royce the Choice. That's how bad I thought he was going to be, and it's just proven to be the move.
Now, look, jeez, I was about to dish out some free advice to the Grizzly Raiders, but actually, I mean, it's pretty simple. All you really got to do, Grizzly Raiders, I see you've got Horsburgh and Tino there. You just trade out the Choice, swap, Can't or Egan. You're welcome, free advice.
Yeah, it is a pretty simple move there. Look, that's really all there is to this game.
Look, I can't really remember what the Trent bet odds were, but looking at these uniques, like I assume the Grizzly Raiders were short in price.
Yeah.
Like I'd be very happy rolling into a game looking at that as my uniques.
Yeah. Yep. Although Koenigsegg only goes down by 90. Like,
look, it's a respectable performance. He's cracked 1100.
Yeah.
Better than we could say for some.
Exactly.
All right. Next on, we look at a team in serious trouble.
This team, oh my god, it even rolled out a 110 to kick off the round. A fucking 110, and besides that, just diarrhea across the board. Like, this is bad.
Yeah. So look, no, hasn't even cracked 1,000 from Adam O'Brien. This is a guy who played finals last year.
Yeah, and was a bit of a threat last year.
Yeah. Look. Bo Firma, I like Bo Firma. He played in the centres on the weekend, so I think he'll bounce back.
I think he's back to second row this week.
Connor Watson.
A lot of shit scores. Jesse Arthur's scored a try, maybe even had a try.
He had a double.
Oh, double, I heard, Jesse Arthur's had 12 points in base. Yeah. So if he's not scoring, he's just fucked. And it's just annoying that he keeps scoring.
Wow, both of these guys also side Purdue. Every team we've done still has Purdue.
This is fucked.
Yeah, you fucking jammy cunts.
Yeah.
Look, all in all, I'd consider this a pretty lucky week for Bilbo's mother hot. He's banged out a big score. But look, 88 from Purdue. Siwa Wong, 119. Even a 65 from Sandon Smith.
Yeah.
Corey Pakes, 52. That's above, well above his projected.
Yeah.
Ola Kawatu got that late line break.
Howard had a bounce back for a 74. Just typical the week after. Some coaches trading.
I think, and he's left out Iongi, so he really could have gone big this week.
Ethan Strange turning out to be one of the worst picks of the year.
Currently averaging 35 with a 3-round average of 22.
That is fucking disgusting.
We gave Ethan Strange a bit of airtime last show, so
don't need to talk about him again.
No. Look, Adam O'Brien not playing Nicholson, questionable.
Tyron Wishart, awful pick for Adam O'Brien.
Awful pick. So what? He would have picked him up before he lost his 47k. So 550k, and you're picking up a guy who's scoring 14.
Yeah,
even had the captaincy armband on him last week.
That is bad, really, really bad. And I actually spoke to Adam O'Brien on Saturday night and just asked him what was going on, and he simply wanted to blame it on the captains. He said the captains haven't been performing, and
it continued.
It continues this week, but has a serious leadership issue at the Adam O'Brien HQ.
Not cracking 1,000 is just not good enough.
No, not at this stage. You got unless your name's Mick. Yeah, at this stage of the year, you're not expected to be going under 1,000.
No. Seriously, back to the drawing board for Adam O'Brien and the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah.
Look, we'll move on. Next game, we touched on this. Another team on a skid, and another team who was sort of let down by Ponga. Best on field, defeated by the Bedwetter by roughly 100 points.
Yep.
He jumped straight on Latrell, best on field.
Interesting. I'm not sure.
Especially when he was named at centre.
I'm not sure paying 860k, I believe he was, 860k for a guy playing in the centres, first game back off a hamstring injury, notoriously a fat cunt. He was never gonna. I understand the appeal. Hearing Latrell Mitchell in the centres going up against a rookie centre is gonna get you up and about a little bit, but for that price, that's just a dumb move. So I can't get behind it. You get what you deserve, and enjoy losing a lot of cash in a week.
Yeah, absolutely. What else to cut? He's got Eli Katoa, great pick. This guy's turning out big scores.
Eli Katoa is someone that he's going to be a must-have, but unfortunately there are a few other things I think coaches probably need to address over Katoa, and he's just going to have to be someone that a lot of coaches just suck up in a week or two's time and just pays top dollar for.
Look, all in all, I'm looking at Best on Field's team. I like some of the things he's doing. Nico, who scored 48 in a poor performance, so you take that.
Yeah.
Latrell, I mean, he's a pick-up soon, not right now.
At the end of the
Katoa,
day, now that you've got Trell, you hold him.
Yeah, Harry Grant, Ponga, I'm not hating what I'm seeing. Both these guys also still have Purdue. Did everyone hold Purdue?
Are we the only ones that traded him? I thought trading Purdue after 2 rounds of shit to Tamale or one of the guys that had fired early was the move.
Yeah.
But unless they traded him back in, I don't know.
Yeah, Stafford Toa, who is seriously flying under the radar as a cheapie.
Yeah.
He's generated 130k, minus 29 breakout.
Yeah.
Great pick up there from Best on Field.
Yeah.
I assume he started with him.
Yeah.
Just completely flown under the radar.
There's going to be a lot of he's going to have a lot of cash very soon. Best on Field. Jamie Humphries won. We sort of touched. Well, we haven't touched on him.
No, so obviously Humphries is a sell.
5 weeks, I believe.
It's. I mean, you just go straight to Cleary.
Yeah,
you free up the cash. However you have to do it, and you fucking pick up Cleary.
If you already have Cleary, then maybe you look at going to Nico if you don't have him. Just get your halves sort of. I imagine they'll be the top 2 halves. So
I mean, Cleary's rolling out around. I think his break even's 120, but he's versing the Dolphins this week.
Go huge, due to go huge.
And look, I think at worst he's going to score an 80. Cleary.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Look, he's going to leak maybe 20k. So you just get him in there.
He hasn't had his Nathan Cleary performance yet, which is scary because he's still churning.
He was so involved on Thursday night they played, right?
Yeah.
So involved, but obviously he just didn't quite. I mean, he still scored 90 odds.
Yeah.
I expect a big ton.
Kyle Flanagan, he's got to go.
Why is he still?
He's
there?
got to go. That is honestly a must.
Still got Emre, who I believe got suspended for 3 weeks.
Yeah, Emre's probably. I imagine Emre will be gone this week.
Both those Dragons. Just trade him to Egan.
Yeah, both those Dragons.
Who the fuck is Ethan Roberts?
Not sure. Hasn't played.
Yeah, that's
just enough.
Just enough. Okay. He's got Trey Mooney, who's playing New South Wales Cup. A few bits of concern, but Bedwetter. Look, this team is. Look, we haven't heard too much. He's gone a bit silent.
He has gone a bit quiet. I think he's understands the position he's in at the moment, and I think at the start of the year he was very active because he was like, a bit of fun. But now his eyes have probably lit up a little bit. He sees that big prize pool, and he's gone, you know what? No more funny business. I'm just gonna lock into the season, make sure I can wheel the boys over the line, and it's turning out to work in his favour.
No Tom Jenkins for Best on Field. Interesting.
That's a big loss.
Look, Gutherson, big bounce back for the Bedwetter after giving him the captain's armband last weekend and letting him down. Churns out of 130, so good on him.
I feel like if you're captaining Gutho against the Storm, you're probably happy to captain him against the fucking Eels the following week.
Yeah,
but for some reason, just decided to go on Payne Haas, who was going up against one of the best front rowers on the other side. In my opinion, Payne Haas was never going to go as big, just because simply
he was due to play less minutes.
Him and Terrell May were always going to go at each other all day. It was going to be a physical game, and so it was. I thought that it was pretty obvious.
A name I'm loving there for the Bedwetter, Jacob Preston. He's playing good footy.
Yeah.
So look, well done, Bedwetter, and look, mate, you're sitting second. Well done.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the top scorer, Oakland A's, turning out 13.57. I actually want to see where that placed him for the week.
Yeah, courtesy of the Gutho Loop, I believe it was this week.
So finished in the top 1,000 for the rounds, rank 882 for the rounds. So
monster score.
Well done. At a team that was under a bit of pressure, I think it only won one game.
Yeah, big bounce, big hit back this week, and against a relatively solid side as well. So good week to do it on.
Yeah, so...
Up the guts, never mind.
Look, good to see Up the Guts submitting a team.
Yeah.
Look, good to see Oakland A's currently active. This is another coach we caught up with on the weekend.
Yep. We're blind. He was fucking blind. I said hello to him and he licked my ear. So that he was excited.
That's gross.
Kinda. he was excited to see his favourite analyst.
Yes. Look, we all know the rivalry there. Was seriously not happy that shit cunt that's not here tipped against him in the Trent bet.
So look, he turns out an absolute...
Sorry, just some live mail. More love for the Butter Bandits in Trent bet. Guys, write them off. They're fucking shit.
They're gone. Season done. So Isaiah Yeo turns out an 85 this week. Very annoying. We'll touch on this a little bit, but yeah, the Cobby captain's bad run traded him out.
Yeah,
so he's got 60 and 80. But anyway,
look, so I'm looking at Up the Guts.
Reece Walsh bailed him out very, very late. Reece Walsh on about 6 points. About 10 minutes into the second half, and then bangs out a 66. Which is what Reece Walsh can do.
Yeah, so Hudson Young, 110. Look, Up the Guts had Siwa Wong, though, 119. And it's a respectable score for Up the Guts after, worried he's given up, thrown in the towel already. He comes out, sure he was well beaten, but he's versus someone who's turned out the 880th best score in the nation.
Yeah, I know. That's impressive.
So, look, Up the Guts, I think you can take this and build on it.
Yep. No, definitely.
Not that you'll hear this.
No, yeah.
Shit, cunt.
Yeah. So, looking through the rest of the team, a lot of standard picks. Picking up Jaden Campbell,
and not playing him.
Not playing him. Was that maybe a flex-based issue? Nope, because there's a 38 there. So
that's fucking weird. Who's his other 5'8"?
So, yeah, just picking him up and deciding not to play. I mean, sure, it turned out to work in your favour, I guess, but...
Oh, no, it's because... Oh, interesting. Very interesting. The reason he didn't play Campbell was that's who he opted to leave out to Luke.
Ah, right.
Because he's got the captaincy on Metcalf, who didn't play. So look, interesting.
Maybe that was forced.
I suppose it was
Metcalf the only guy that wasn't.
He also had Vaimunga.
Did he play? Oh, did he not play this week? Yeah.
No, they both had a bye.
Of course.
So look, great week for the Oakland A's. John Bateman, he's fucking got to go, but more. Okay, finally, our first team that doesn't have Purdue Up the Guts, but Oakland A's does anyway. Apparently, the experts are just shit.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Just Up the Guts. We sort of touched on it briefly before. Angus Crichton turning out to be a really good pick with no attacking stats this year. Just doing it all in base and power, which is...
Was he must have been running off Sandon Smith, not Chatty T. That's the issue.
Yeah, I believe so. So Angus Crichton is someone that if this I don't know who's coming in this week. Savalo.
He's currently under. He's 700k. Yeah. That's juicy.
Savalo, whatever his name is.
I don't really have any mail on the guy.
No.
Look,
if he comes in and steers the ship around Angus Crichton, look out.
Look, one thing I will say, Oakland A's in, I believe it was round 2, top scored against Tramos Titans and then turned out a few bad weeks in a row. So we just want to see a bit of consistency.
Yeah, no consistency at all this year. All right.
Next up, the Cardi Party, solid win, nearly cracks the 1200 versus Hey Ho Let's Go, who comes back down to reality.
And fucking quick too.
Yeah.
Good to see some of his heroes last week just decided to take the fucking week off. Like, this is fucked.
Tom Dearden.
Yeah,
last week's heroes.
Last week's, they played their grand final last week. They were always going to come back down to it. Jack Goss, who busted out a 60 last week, rolls out a 20 this week.
Look, only one player on his non-scorers that... Oh no, sorry, 2 players that actually scored. So this is probably the team you're going to be looking at for most of the year for Hey Ho Let's Go. Not a lot of cash coming in.
No.
Big issue.
I imagine we've probably only got a few more weeks left in the life of Hey Ho Let's Go before he throws in the towel.
But yeah, look, at the end of the day, he got off the donut, which is more I can say than the Butter Bandits.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, on the Butter Bandits still.
look, yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to report on. Hey ho, let's go. It's just back to reality.
Yeah.
He got up last week, and
Played,
it's hard to continue to get
played his grand final, and now he's just done for the year. So congrats.
Yeah.
Cardi Party. This is a team to touch on. We'll spend most of the time here, I think.
Siwa Wong, as he was very happy seeing that score.
Yeah.
Nikora, who's actually a bit of a pod in the league right
Yeah.
now, banging out in the 87.
87. He did. Wasn't it 87 including a double? So like.
Oh, he did score.
For I think one of them was off a kick.
Yeah, one of them, where he kicked it 3 times.
Yeah. So like.
Freaking Ronaldo.
Yeah. So like. I think for scoring a double 87 is a little bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, I'm personally always been a big Nikora guy.
Yeah.
He's found his way into the copy captain's team a fair few times, so he's a good player.
He's got that Roosters duo that if you own, you're very happy. Siwa Wong and the Fufu White, so you're happy with that.
Yep.
Look, other than that, pretty stock standard. Lehigh, who's going to be a really good pick.
Yeah.
He was very high on Lehigh. Preston, who we touched on with the bedwetter, fucking unreal.
Fletcher Sharp was disappointing for him.
Yeah, Fletcher Sharp, and we touched on that Newcastle attack. It's danger signs. Another guy with Purdue.
So annoying.
Yeah, still not sure who Tuki Mea Simpkins is.
Tuki Mea yet to see a minute of game time. I imagine we'll stay that way for most of the year.
Yeah, I mean the Titans have had a few debutants. Brock Gray, some fucking cunt called Val played. Some hooker had a few debutants and not Simpkins.
No.
So he must be pretty low in the pecking order.
Tuki Mihal might be the team masseuse. Not too sure. But
look, hey ho, let's go. Still got Ryan Sutton who is still unemployed.
yeah, I actually saw Ryan Sutton at Centrelink the other day. So probably a sign to get rid of him.
Yeah, look, good win, Cardi Party, who's currently active. Love to see that.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, just this matchup, as we touched on, really fun match. Everyone was looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
And the Cinderella man picks up win number 2.
Gets the job done with a KP captaincy as well, which is huge. First thing I see here is Jackson Purdue. Fuck me.
Both owners.
I had 4 coaches in there.
Yeah,
I thought that everyone.
I thought everyone was off him.
Well, that's
so. Look, so only 4 unique, common players here, which is another reason why this was exciting.
Yeah.
Look, so the Dons starting off. He's playing Cameron McInnes. Yeah,
which is an improvement on
there is mail. Cam McInnes has been dropped.
Cam McInnes dropped this week.
For the Dons.
Oh, for the Dons.
Yeah, not for the Sharks.
No,
I forgot. I was on the look. We got the inside mail. We reach out to the coaches. I forgot who he was trading into. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck.
No, it's not much. It's not whoever he's trading him to. It's not much
Owen Paddy. Look, everyone knows that bench hookers are just super coach poison.
Yeah.
Oh no, he also said he was trading Owen Paddy.
Right. Yeah. Which is interesting timing because I believe we're starting to see a bit of a shift in minutes with Starling and Paddy. Paddy's minutes have gone up week on week, and obviously Starling's good, but Paddy just looks unreal. So I feel like if you've held him for this long, then fuck, why don't you just wait and see? There's no one to trade him to in hooker.
I was about to say no Tom Jenkins for the Dons, but he did have him, just didn't play him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he played him, he might have won.
Yeah.
But look, questionable, but that's all right. He's still got a KO week sitting there who has leaked 115k.
Pick. He's in danger of getting dropped in real life, although he much improved.
Yeah.
Still doesn't mind dropping a fucking pill.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Both Cleary owners, well done.
Yeah.
Actually, this was a trade-in last week for the Cinderella man. Nafufi White was one of his trade-ins last week. Yes. I don't know who was dropped for Nafufi White, but yes, I did have mail that he was a round 5 pickup.
That's just dumb. I understand Nafufi White's been churning out okay scores, but surely he's not going up in price much more from here. 38, what's he gone up so far? So you put him in then for a 50k increase, you may as well have just gone someone cheaper. But sure.
Dill Brown owner. Look, we know Cinderella Man loves dishing out sprays.
Yeah.
I imagine Dill Brown was on the receiving end of one of these.
Yeah.
And look, he responded, so you'd be happy.
Watch out, Kalen Ponga this week. KP will be in the firing line for a spray. He'll be covered in.
Nice play. Sorry, just going to check that quickly.
I don't know, they play Sunday. That Tigers. At back in Newey too.
Honestly, I'm tipping the Tigers. Fucking, there's major drama.
If fucking Newcastle can get their attack sorted, that is such a delicious game.
Yeah, honestly, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Cinderella Man. Two wins on the board. He's, look, he had Marky Mark, who didn't play, who's been a good pickup.
Potentially back in this week too on the wing, which I think will be a better scoring position.
Absolutely.
For him.
He didn't play Iongi, Finafili Aki. I like what I see from him when he's on the footy field. Hasn't quite worked out in Supercoach yet, but I think he could.
I think he's going to be a really good player.
Yeah. Metcalf. I wonder if he'll be playing Metcalf this week. We know there's a bit of history there.
I reckon surely Metcalf isn't gone this week for the Cinderella Men.
And another Eli Katoa owner, so well done Cinderella Man for that.
Yep.
Neither of these coaches active, not good enough.
No.
I'll point out as well the Dons Dongs big signing. He announced it to the media early. Paps trade in.
Yeah.
Look, scored 68, which was solid. Came off early. The mail is it was just a cork.
Yeah, it was just a cork. Yeah, but he got bummed on the field.
Yeah, so
someone hit him. I believe it was in a tackle and Tui Kamika
and he's still currently goal kicking at the moment, so I imagine he's going to be turning out pretty good scores.
Yeah.
So look, well done Cinderella Man. I'm sure you could not have wiped the smile off this bloke's dial.
Yeah.
Picking up win number 2 and currently leading the trend bad top punter.
Oh yeah, he is
which
too.
we will cover more shortly.
Yeah. I just want to, for all Pappenhausen owners, I just want to get you excited here. Playing New Zealand this week. Last 3 scores: 132, 155, and 126.
You've been looking at that, haven't you?
I've had a serious look at that. Followed up by a Finns game next week, where he's one of his 2 games against them was a 108. Ignore the 39, but the 108 there. But yeah, the 132, 155, 126.
That's absolutely huge.
That's something to get excited about this week.
Okay, cool.
Captaincy option.
Yes. All right. Next up, and this ended up being really close after updates.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's been a history of updates between
Yes, we know updates.
So even though the copy captains were down by 30 or something going into the Sunday, we all knew that it wasn't really over.
It's always something to watch. But yes, David's team defeats the copy captains. Look, I want to give David's team some shine.
Yeah.
We've been pretty tough on David's team in this pod, actually.
Yeah.
But all in all, he's the only guy who's cracked 6,000 points.
Yeah.
He's top of the table, 5-1. You got to give him credit.
You do have to give him credit. It's annoying. Tui Pelotu played well.
Fuck Tui Pelotu. Fuck him. He's tried. I thought he dropped it.
It's very annoying.
He was on fucking 8 at halftime.
Yeah,
8.
I know. And then he churns that bullshit out. So yeah, Jesse Arthur's another one scoring a fucking double with a base of 12.
Yeah.
It was a frustrating week for the copy captains.
And so look, just watching Ponga, I'm sure was devastating.
Oh yeah, that was going in. I believe down by 60 points. Down by 60 points into the final game. It was 80 points, I believe, going into the final game with Ponga and Marju to play. Thought surely between the two of these guys, just one of them needs to score a try.
Yeah.
He had Marju as well, but dropped out because of the flex.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. If your flex is scoring 42, the guy that drops out, you've had a pretty good week.
Yeah. Watching KP, we ranted about it earlier. This loss is courtesy of Adam O'Brien.
David's team doesn't own Shitasaki.
No, which, I mean...
Yeah, he's probably made the most money in Supercoach.
Yeah. For the copy captains, just another disappointing week of captaincies. Besides round 1, where Turbo was the captain, the copy captains haven't had a captain score over 55 points this year, which is just not good enough. Good from everyone else, but just there's a bit of a curse around the skipper's armband at the moment.
So, look, there was a bit of mail with the copy captain. Look, because he looked like he had the game sewn up at one point.
Yeah.
Ended up going Jaden Campbell, probably trying to get rid of that stigma of copying captains.
Yeah.
And it ended up working. He's outscored
Payne Haas.
So that's really not an excuse.
Yeah. That was what was going to happen. The copy captains were seriously looking at matching because it was a bit of a comfy lead going on, courtesy of Sandon Smith scoring a try and
playing Iongi.
And Iongi being played, who wasn't luck. That was a calculated decision that paid off. So Cam Munster, that was so annoying. Had 70 in the first half, and it was looking like he was just going to fucking dominate.
Like, he scored that try he gave to Papenhuyzen.
I know. Broke away and just ran out of legs, gave it off
and that's
to Pappy,
actually decided this match.
Which they also gave that try assist to Jerome Hughes.
Yeah, okay.
So Jerome Hughes broke the line. Oh, Munster gave it to Hughes, who broke the line. I'm not even sure they gave that line break to Hughes, because Hughes bounced off someone, broke the line, then ran sort of 20 metres, gave it infield to Munster, who was away, got mowed down, and then took off the pass. So despite having 2 involvements in that play, didn't record an attacking stat besides a try contribution.
Yeah,
disappointing.
Look, so obviously you've got to touch on it. Is this a skid for the copy captains? They've slid down to 6. This is a team that you expect to be around the top 4. A shock loss to Hey Ho Let's Go that resulted in the emergency press conference.
Yeah.
Obviously, losing the David's team, it's not going to cause an emergency press conference.
No.
But as we saw in Nick's news, has he lost the locker room?
No.
Look, you probably can't remember the last time the copy captains have lost 3 on the trot, so they're a big watch this week. You'd assume they can bounce back. At the end of the day, he still scored 11.90, which is pretty respectable.
Who's
the matchup this week?
Dongs.
Oh wow! So, look, if they drop the game to the Dongs, there is
alarm bells.
Serious alarm bells.
This is the last team that the copy captains want to be playing this week. The Dongs are known for turning out randomly good scores on randomly good weeks and coming off one shock loss, which was, I'm not even going to touch on that, not lost to Mick anymore, and then going down the heartbreaker. The last thing the copy captains needs is to be facing fucking the Dongs.
Yeah, this is a team that can randomly turn one on. Yeah,
so look, the copy captains quite unlucky to start the year. Like, the team's obviously not bad, and the ship will turn around. I have absolutely no doubt in that.
Yep.
But this week the Mail.
Any mail on Kale Iro on what's happening with Kale Iro's spot at the copy captains?
Yeah, copy captains. Kale Iro has been shown the door. Disappointing. We don't want him to go. We haven't shown him the door. We've just said, mate, just wait outside.
Go do your rehab.
Just go wait outside. Don't bring that bad hamstring juju in here. Just go sit out the front. Maybe I don't know. Just wipe down some of the boys' windows on their cars in the car park. And when you're feeling good, come back in.
Has he been traded to a certain Lebo?
I've had a mind blank and can't remember my trades. Can't remember his trades.
Is it Jay Carraz?
No. No, Jacob Carraz. He is a favourite son of the copy captains.
Yes. And just look, no attacking stats on him.
5 offloads as a winger.
Man, he's. We all know he's going to be a must-have soon. Look, first game back, 61 in no attacking stats. He's going to be a must-have soon. So
hopefully drops in price a tiny bit, because I believe he's over 700k at the moment. So ideally that's the case, but I'm not sure he will. The way he played
Bulldogs on the bye this week.
Yeah,
that's right.
So the mail is for the copy captains. There will be Iro downgrade, a Charlie. No, apparently that's the move. Charlie Geimer will be setting the door, the Parramatta hooker, apparently. He will be showing the door, and Lil Pappy is in the side. So watch out to the Don's Dongs this week. The only reason I'm giving that mail is because Don's Dongs are Pappy owner too. I expect a bit of a bounce back this week.
Right, and now our final match to cover. Someone is not here for their well, realistically, they're running off scared.
Yep.
We all heard what this coach had to say when I missed the show.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy closely affiliated with the Harry Dogs, was saying, will this team ever lose a game?
Yep.
Just like the Knights, just a fucking false hope start to the season. Like, I was listening to Bloke in a Bar, they rapped the Knights for 30 minutes. They're fucking shit.
Yeah.
Just like this fucking team. Fucking shit.
I don't want to talk about how good the Knights' defence is. Like, the reason you fucking were defending so much is because you couldn't fucking hold the footy. Like, no shit, you spent all that time defending. You're bound to do a few good defensive things.
We spoke to this analyst and he said plenty to take away from the Knights.
Yeah.
You fucking completed it at about 50%. You suck.
Shit. It was shit. Like, it was poor coaching. It was just disgusting to watch. And it reflected in our co-host's attitude today. He couldn't front up. He
Couldn't front up. No notification of not showing up.
No.
That's why his future on this show is seriously.
We'll give you an explanation as to what happened. We're in the green room. We're getting ready to record this pod, and we think, like, geez, we're running a little bit late. Like, where's our other analyst? He needs to, take what he deserves this week. He needs a good bumming, and we were ready to give it to him. And what he said by the way, this pod is always recorded at 5 p.m. At 5:20, he has said, I will not be there today. Hopefully you can produce something without me.
And then has followed that up with, will be interesting to see yous can still make a good episode without the clear favourite analyst. Fucking, I'm sure no one even knows his name.
No.
He's a nobody.
No. Look, I think it's all pretty obvious who the favourite analyst is. So, look, maybe we'll put that to a vote.
Anyway, let's touch on the Harry Dogs. Trying to copy his fucking mate David's team, bringing in Lindsay Smith.
Yeah.
Fucking get your own pods.
I know. He's a sheep. He's the definition of a sheep, this bloke.
Yeah.
He wins a couple of games and then he just copies what other people are doing. And you know what? Lindsay Smith, at this time of year, not the person you want to be bringing in.
No.
It was a shit trade. Like, yeah, he banged it. Yeah, he scored a 61. The reason it's such a good pick for Dave is because he started with him.
It's a bit like Mafufi White for Aaron, for the Cinderella Man. It's just not the move.
It's at this time of year, like, we know that the front row's stacked. Why are you still focusing on it?
He's like, I mean, when he's on there, he's banging out big minutes. But he's coming off the bench at the moment. Yeah, a bench prop.
Like,
you're bringing in bench props.
And like, I know what he's going to say. He's like, yeah, but he scored a 60. That's better than Jaden Campbell scored in a 50. You know what? There's every chance next week Jaden Campbell will bang out 160 points. He's scored 170 before. Lindsay Smith, he's not scoring any higher than a fucking 70.
And I'm just going to... he's still got Jesse Arthurs. I assume he's going this week. Riley Smith, who was his big... So happy to play. He started him. 36. He played about 60 minutes.
Didn't even get the starting role. They wanted to give Hopgood the starting role.
Bailed out by Iongi and Tui Pilotu in the second half.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't enough. And then you go to his non-players. The choice. The choice. Royce the choice. What are you doing?
You know what I saw the other day? This is a bit of inside scoop to Royce the choice here. As we all know, I'm a big Terrell Davis May vlogs fan. I don't mind watching a Terrell Davis May vlog. When they played up, I believe they played in Brisbane the other week. I can't remember where it was. And Terrell May put out a video of them post-game going out for dinner. Royce the choice. 2 family boxes to himself.
Oh, that is criminal.
Royce the choice has ordered 2 family boxes. The video pans over and that fat cunt has 2 roast chickens. Like... No wonder he's scoring 11s. He's battling constipation. He's battling constipation.
The fridge. Who called him the fridge? Where did that come from?
Vossi, I believe. The fridge. He puts away more food than a fridge.
Yeah.
Fucking fat cunt. And he's in your side.
Yeah, and you look at the Harry Dogs' favourite son, Kalen Ponga, the guy who ended his season last year, ends his undefeated streak. Shit done.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Look, I think this is the beginning of a skid for the Harry Dogs.
Look, I think we can all agree the Harry Dogs are off to a lucky start.
Look, the Harry Dogs...
It's the better team they've put in the last few years, sure. But...
The Harry Dogs were the 3rd lowest scoring score last week.
Yeah.
And then they've dished out a loss.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of a skid.
All the top sides, I'd love to see what his record is against the top sides. I believe the top teams he has beaten, he's beaten them on off weeks.
Yeah.
He hasn't played anyone on their good week.
Yeah.
Which, just sums up how lucky he's getting. It's fucking annoying. It's doing my head in.
Yeah. And now, while he's under a bit of pressure, he gets to play the winless Butter Bandits.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Butter Bandits were all on you this week.
Butter Bandits who have received plenty of love in Trent Bet. I know I've been critical of your Butter Bandit, but mate, please knock the Harry Dogs off. This guy needs a reality check. As Trenos Titans has begun to hand him out, I reckon we could see this guy skid down.
What are your thoughts in a must-win game against the Trendos Titans this week?
Where he started favourite as well.
He started favourite. A must-win game. He was spotted by paparazzi in bed at 1 o'clock.
Yes, wow.
Fast asleep in bed at 1 o'clock.
Yes. Potentially missing late mail.
Yeah.
And spotted by a fan, broke into his house. Fast asleep for the big fella.
Fast asleep. I don't think he's dedicated to the game. I think he's sniffing his own farts a fair bit. He's loving what he's producing, and he's not seeing the big picture. Look, if he makes the finals, I'm not ruling out a straight sets bounce out if he's top 4.
Yeah, it's the beginning of a skid.
Yep.
Anyway, look, so that is the review. We'll now touch on the Trent Bet Cup.
Yep.
So we'll quickly go over the standings from round 1. So Trent Bet Punters Cup standings. 8th, the same shit cunt, Daniel. Oh my God, banging out 0 from 3.
Yeah.
You're fucking shit.
It just shows how much he knows about this league.
Yeah,
he knows fuck all.
Why is this guy on the analyst desk?
He just sits there and he just spews poo. Just constant poo.
The only thing you brought to the table is that fucking hoe from your work watching.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Shorty.
Sup? I forgot her name. Now that we've changed channels, she's probably...
I hope she's still watching.
Anyway.
If not, hey, Tanya.
Next up, we've got Nick, who... I don't know who he backed. He got someone at $1.45. Well done.
Yeah.
Trent Cartwright, the Cardi Party. His only tip was on himself, but $1.50. Well done. Next up, David, who his one tip was the Trenos Titans knocking off the Harry shit cunts. Well done. Kearney, not happy with the spelling, but
racks in $3.
yeah, racks in $3.55. Well done, mate.
Yep.
Next up, we got a tie. These two coaches actually submitted the exact same tips.
Yeah, and one of them was a day earlier than the other. So obviously we got Caleb here, who's on $4.35. Tied with Rigo, $4.35. As we said, tips were put in 24 hours earlier. I reckon Rigo has forgotten to put his tips in. Has just scrolled up and just tapped on a random one, and he's just gone, that'll do.
Yeah. Anyway, it's worked out. He's tied second. So well done.
Sitting pretty on top.
Sitting pretty. I know. Walking in to Woodbridge construction site Monday morning, this guy would have had the biggest smile on his dial, picking up a win, sitting number 1. Fucking Aaron the Cinderella Man Clarkey.
Mate, it wouldn't shock me this week if you receive a bank transfer from Clarkey and it's just his paycheck this week says, mate, I want actual money on this.
So look, well done, Clarkey. I hope you can go on with it, mate. I'd love to see you take out this competition. Anyway, we'll quickly go over our tips and odds for this week. Next up, a must win for both coaches. Butter Bandit, $2.90 takes on the Harry Dogs, $1.30. Look, as we've all seen, plenty of love. If there were fluctuations in the market, Butter Bandit would probably be into about $2.
Yeah.
Plenty of love for the Butter Bandit at $2.90. And honestly, I can see why. It's two shit sides going at it.
It's going to be a poo slinger.
You take on the side that's got better value.
Beetlejuice versus Gary the Retard this week.
Look, you'd probably take the $2.90 for the Butter Bandit.
Yeah, $2.90 is good value because I do think the Harry Dogs are due to give up a shocker. After all the shit he gave the copy captains for dropping a game to the winless hey ho let's go side, I would love to see the Harry Dogs drop a loss to the winless Butter Bandits.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, it would be good content. For the sake of content, I think everyone should be cheering for the Butter Bandit this week.
Yeah, I'm sure our analyst would miss the show again for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, a matchup I'm really excited for. Two coaches on the up. Grizzly Raiders, $1.65 takes on Doggies at $1.90. Doggies once again not happy with the odds put up for him.
I don't know what he expects. He's sitting 4th last.
Yeah, look, but this is a team on the up. Yeah, no more Jamie Humphries' captaincy mistakes.
Yeah. Look, in my opinion, $1.60 for the Grizzly Raiders. That's fucking really good.
Yeah,
value.
when he's sitting fourth, taking on someone in the bottom four.
And honestly, I'm snapping that up. $1.65 Grizzly Raiders.
I got my eyes on this matchup, but yeah, it's hard to go against Grizzly Raiders. $1.65.
Yeah.
Next up, Trenos Titans versus Bilbo's Mother Hot. $1.40 for the Trenos Titans. Bilbo's Mother Hot, sort of flying under the radar a bit. That's why I've priced this at, not too big of a blowout. And Trenos Titans, I can confirm, will probably not be paying much attention to late mail. I'll be on stage with John Summit. The Trenos Titans will be on stage with John Summit.
Bilbo's Mother Hot at $2. I think that's probably, in my opinion, close to the value bet of the week. I think $2 is good, just off the back of some good performances.
He's sitting in 8th. He's seriously flying under the radar, so there's plenty of value there, don't get me wrong. Next up, a split market.
Yeah, this is huge and understandable, I think.
Best on field versus Waltzing Matildas. I believe it's 11th versus 12th on the ladder. And look, the team at Trentbet couldn't split them.
No, and understandable. Waltzing Matildas has been off to a good start.
If I was a punter, I would avoid this match like the plague.
Yeah, same here. This is literally a coin flip, as the odds reflect.
Another one which is really tight. Next up, we've got Up the Guts at $1.85. Obviously, much improved performance versus a team on the skid. Adam O'Brien, $1.75. Look, I'm probably leaning towards Up the Guts.
Me too. I'm honestly quite shocked Adam O'Brien's in it favouritism here. He's had some poor weeks in a row. He can't pick a captain to save his life. His leaders don't want to play for him. So with that, I think Up the Guts could be the move here.
Yep. Next up, Hey Ho, Let's Go takes on the Bedwetter. Look, you see the Bedwetter just gets it done here.
Yeah, look, if you're a winless coach in the Trent Bet Cup, I think you tip the Bedwetter, you take that $1.15. It's the easiest $1.15 you'll ever make.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Cinderella Man takes on the Oakland A's. Look, everyone's happy to see the Cinderella Man pick up win number 2, but he's taken on last week's top scorer. And you get $1.50 for a guy coming off who just scored the 800th best score in Supercoach. It's hard to go past.
$1.50 for that, yeah. I'm sorry, Clarkie. I'm all over Oakland A's there. That's a really, really good bet. $1.50, yeah, Oakland A's.
Yeah, a bit like the Cardi Party last week. I think that was overs $1.50 for him there.
That bet ended up hitting.
Yeah. Next up, David's team, $1.70 versus the Cardi Party. You could probably argue this is the match of the round in terms of heavyweights. The match I'll probably be tuning into the most is the Copy Captains versus the Dons Dongs.
Be a lot of shit talk around.
But so $1.70, David's team versus Cardi Party, $1.90. Look, I think David's team, they're flying.
Yeah.
$1.70 for the competition favourites you take.
Yeah, I agree. Look, the Cardi Party are definitely capable of winning this. They've got the squad to take this game out.
Yeah.
David's team probably due for a stinker, but as you said, $1.70 for the favourite to take out the comp at the moment.
Yeah, it's hard to go past.
Yeah.
Next up, Copy Captains versus Dons Dongs, and really exciting matchup here. Look, $1.35 for a team with some question marks around them in the Copy Captains, but at the end of the day, they're still coming 6.
Yeah.
Versus the Dons Dongs, who are further down on the ladder, $2.75.
Yeah.
Look, if this was solely tipping, you go with the Copy Captains, but we know the Dons Dongs has random big weeks in them, so I'm going to take that $2.75.
Yeah. If you want to, I think betting with your head, you're probably tipping the Copy Captains, but if you're all about that chasing that moolah, that dosh, you want to pay for your kids to go through school, you probably jump on the Dons Dongs at $2.75. That is nice. So.
All right, so look, that's all we've got this week, and probably what was our best episode yet.
Yeah.
Shedding some dead weight. So reminder to all coaches, get your 3 tips in with Trentbet. I won't reveal what the reward is, but once again, you will be rewarded. So at Prezzo night. So keep doing it. Look, I'm going to keep moderating it. So just keep submitting your 3 tips. It'll be worth it.
And
guys.
just remember too that we're going to have this Prezzo at the end of the year. So we'll try and finalise a date for that ASAP. And so we'll just get onto it nice and early. So
I want all coaches there.
Yeah, all coaches there, except for Cody, because you're not in the chat, so you can wait at the front.
Yeah. Actually, you can maybe be the bouncer or something.
The bouncer, yeah, bartender. Well, that's it from us this week. Enjoy.
Thanks, guys.